Hello and welcome to today's how-to video for today. Today's video is going to be about how to plant potatoes in the ground, the distance they need to be planted apart from each other, and also about planting them in bags, potato bags. So it's a little experiment to see which one actually grows better, whether they grow better in the bags or whether they grow better in the ground. Which one do you think will grow better? Comment below and let me know. Bit of a rhyme there. So yeah, that's the plan for today. So what we need is our potatoes, which have been chitting away. I don't know if you saw my previous video on how to chit potatoes. If not, feel free to look back on my previous videos and find out how to chit the potatoes. I've been chitting the potatoes away and they currently look like not working very well. Technology looks like this. As you can see, they've got little shoots growing on them, which is what you want. So they're ready to be put in the ground. So we are going to start off first with planting them outside. I'll show you how to plant them outside and what you need to do. So now we're outside in the nice sunshine. I've got my hat on, but it is quite warmish. I like to keep my head nice and warm, plus the earphones do hurt my ears, with them being quite big. So it's a bit of protection. So what we need to do is we need to dig our trenches first. What you need is a spade, as we're going to be digging the trenches, a spade depth. That's how far you need to plant them. If you're not able to use a spade for any reason, you can use actually a bulb planter. It saves planting the full, digging out the full trench. Bulb planters are ideal. It'll go further enough down and it will make you whole for you to put your potato in. So I've not got a bulb planter with me today, but I imagine you can get the idea of what needs to be done. So we've got our spade. You want to dig your trench the full depth of the spade. That is the ideal depth for a potato to go in. So let's get digging the trench. You can see this is my bed, nicely painted, freshly weeded, ready to plant in my potatoes. So we're going to get our first trench in now. So that's the trench dug out. Certainly bad back-breaking work, bit of a tongue twister. So it is a spade in depth. So now it's time to plant the potatoes. Right, so now we are ready to plant our potatoes in the trench. I can take that cane out, that was just for measurement. So what you need to do when you're planting potatoes in your trench is you need to get your potato and you need to get it so that the eyes are facing up. The eyes are where the shoots have been growing from the chitting, so they need to be facing up, not down. So we'll just pop the potato in nice and firmly, just like that, in the trench. So the distance that we need to leave between each potato has to be about 12 inches, which is about 30 centimetres. So I've got a stick already made to mark out in between each one. So it's a case of just putting the stick down, then putting the next potato in. Just like that. So it's nicely spaced apart. Thus it'll help with the growing of the potatoes and between weeding them, so that there's enough space in between. So on to the next ones. So that's the potatoes in, that's 5 in that row. I probably won't be able to get them all planted in this bed, but we will see how we get on. Once you've planted your potatoes, the next step is just to place a marker, just so that you know where they're going to grow up. Just in case you want to fill the gaps in between your potatoes with something else, just to maximise use of spacage. So after we've done that, it's a case of filling the trench back in. So to fill the trench back in, all I'm going to use is a handy old rake. I'm not going to use a fork or spade, just use rake to push it back onto the potatoes. Just like that. Nice and easy. So once you've done that, it's a case of doing the next trench. And the space you need to leave between the top trench and the next trench is about 2 to 3 foot. So that's about 60 centimetres. So I'm just going to use my handy stick what I used for spacing them apart. Just 1 and 2. So I'll be putting my next trench just here. As you can see, it's a nice big gap between the rows. So let's get digging this trench out. So that trench is now dug out. So it's a case of putting the next 5 potatoes in that trench, 30 centimetres apart from each other. So all the potatoes are now in. Remember to put the eyes facing up, obviously. The eyes need to be up, not down. And then they'll grow nicely. Let's get this one out. That's it's time to do the final trench for the final lot of potatoes. So that's 3 troughs done with the potatoes planted. You don't have to worry about mounding them up yet. Mine are mounded up a bit because that's obviously the air in between the soil, so I've just placed it back on where it needs to go because it will sink down as it rains. When the shoots start to pop through the ground, that's when you mound them up. You can use the soil in between the gaps to mound them up, so you can dig it lower, because you need to mound them up so that more potatoes grow. That is the idea. So yeah, it's just a case of watering them now, and now on to planting some in the bags. So now we have planted the potatoes in the ground, it's now time to plant the potatoes in the bags. We're going to see which one grows best. Which one do you think will grow best? Make sure you leave a comment in the below to let me know which one you think will do the best out of the ground or in the bags. We shall see. So right, let's get on with planting them in the bags. What you need is a bag, something like this. You can pick up potato bags at garden centres or pound shops or other types of shops that you know of. I can't mention any names. So yeah, you've got to make sure that you've got holes in the bottom to let the water out, because you don't want to get water out. So let's get on with planting them. Alright, first off you need to fill the bottom with compost. Any compost will do, as long as it's good quality, decent compost. But obviously this is quite an expensive method, because using compost isn't too cheap, as you probably can guess. And if you're wanting to get a lot of potatoes out of it and fill it up to the top, then it would use a lot of compost. So if you do compost yourself, ideal. But if you don't, like me, which I do need to start to, it will use quite a bit of compost. So let's see how we get on. So I've put the compost in the bottom, just like that. So it's a case of getting about 3 to 4 potatoes, again using the eyes to face up, and placing them in. Just like that. Need to space them nice apart. I think I'm going to plant 4 in this one. Just like that. Nice 4 potatoes apart. So the next job is to cover them up with compost. I'll have to pause the camera because I can't do this 2 hands. So right, that's now half filled up with compost. Obviously, again, once it's watered, it will go down a bit, as there's always air in compost. I didn't have enough to do with the next bag, but we'll do that another day. So that's 1 bag of potatoes planted. obviously the higher you put your compost, the more potatoes will grow. So once I get some more compost, I'll fill them up to the top. So that's now being watered, so I'm going to leave this in my shed for the time being while there's still frost around. It'll keep it warmer, and then once it gets warm outside, then I will be moving it outside. So I'll be watering it every couple of days once it's dried out, as it'll dry out quite fast in my shed because it's nice and warm now. So yeah, stay tuned to see how they get on. So thank you for watching today's how-to video on how to plant potatoes in the ground, how much distance to leave them, and also how to plant potatoes in bags. The challenge is on now to see which ones grow best. Personally, I think it'll be the bags, but we shall see. I hope to be proven wrong, but we'll see how we get on. So if you've not subscribed to this channel, click that subscribe button to stay tuned to see how they get on and how they grow, plus plenty more videos which will be getting posted along the summertime from now right the way through until the end of the year. And also give it a like so that I know that you've watched it and also that you've enjoyed it, and make sure you leave a comment below to say that you've watched it and what you think of it, and also which one you think will do best. So thanks for watching, and remember, keep gardening. Busy afternoon down here. I've just planted my potatoes in the bags, and I've also planted them out in the allotment. So let's see how we've done. 3 rows of potatoes planted. I've done a how-to video on how to plant them, so stay tuned for that. Lots of back-breaking work, and those were my onions I planted. They're all in nicely and protected. I've just got that bed to do next for more potatoes, and then that's them 3 beds done. Wow, what a busy day I've had today. I've planted the rest of my vegetable seeds. I've not got onto my flower seeds because I've run out of compost. I've planted my herbs in recycled water bottles. Make sure you stay tuned for the how-to video on that. I've planted my onions outside. I've done a video on that as well, how far to part them, how to plant them, just some general ideas and tips. Also, I've planted my potatoes out, which I've done a video on, and also planted some in bags to see which ones grow best. They're the same variety, so to see which ones grow better outside or whether they grow better in a bag. A little experiment, but it'll be good to see how we get on. So if you've not subscribed to this channel, make sure you click the subscribe button so that you can follow me and how my plants are growing. Also give it a like so that I know that you've watched it and enjoyed it. Leave a comment below, let me know your ideas, tips, and whether you're doing the same things as me or whether you're doing different things as me. It's always good to see how other gardeners are doing their allotment. So yeah, thank you for watching today's vlog. So remember, keep gardening. Until next time, this has been the Yorkshire Gardener.